Today I want to talk to you about a profound truth that can transform our lives. Worrying doesn't change anything, but trusting in God changes everything. Fisher, just because you can't see something before it happens doesn't mean it hasn't happened. Worry is a thief. It steals our joy, our peace, and our ability to act. When we allow worry to take root in our hearts, we become paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. We find ourselves trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts, replaying our worries over and over again. But let me remind you, worrying does not alter our circumstances. It only drains our energy and clouds our vision. Now let's shift our focus to trust. Trusting in God is not a passive act. It is a deliberate choice we make every day. It requires us to surrender our fears and anxieties, to let go of the illusion that we are in control. When we trust in God, we acknowledge that there is a higher power at work in our lives, guiding us, protecting us, and leading us toward our destiny. Faith is the cornerstone of this trust. It is not merely a feeling, it is a deep-seated conviction that God is who He says He is, and that He will do what He has promised. When we place our faith in Him, we align ourselves with His divine plan, which is always for our good. We begin to see our challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Worry immobilizes us, while trust empowers us. When we trust God, we are emboldened to take action. We step out in faith, pursuing our goals and dreams with confidence, knowing that we are not alone in this journey. Let us not forget the promises of God. The scriptures are filled with assurances that He is with us, that He will provide for us, and that He will never leave us nor forsake us. When we meditate on these promises, we cultivate a mindset of trust rather than worry. Trusting in God also changes our perspective. It shifts our focus from our problems to His power. Instead of being overwhelmed by our circumstances, we begin to see them through the lens of faith. We recognize that with God, all things are possible, and we can face any challenge that comes our way. Moreover, we are not meant to walk this journey alone. Trusting in God often involves surrounding ourselves with a community of believers who can encourage and uplift us. Together, we can bear each other's burdens, share our struggles, and strengthen our faith. Prayer is another vital aspect of trust. It is our lifeline to God, a powerful tool that connects us with His heart. Through prayer, we can express our worries and receive His peace, which surpasses all understanding. In those moments of prayer, we find solace and clarity, allowing God to speak into our lives and guide us through the storms we face. It is in prayer that we exchange our worries for His peace, a peace that guards our hearts and minds. Living in the present is another gift that comes from trusting in God. Worry often pulls us into the past, where we dwell on mistakes, or into the future where we fear the unknown. But when we trust God, we are anchored in the present moment. We can experience His grace and guidance right here, right now. We learn to appreciate the beauty of today, to embrace the opportunities that lie before us, and to recognize the blessings that surround us. Let us consider the transformative power of trust. When we choose to trust God, we open ourselves to His incredible ability to change our lives. We become vessels of His love and grace, capable of impacting the world around us. Our worries begin to fade as we step into our true purpose, empowered by the knowledge that we are part of something greater than ourselves. So, my friends, let us choose trust over worry. Let us embrace the truth that while worrying changes nothing, trusting in God changes everything. As we navigate the complexities of life, may we hold fast to our faith, lean on our community, and engage in prayer, knowing that our God is faithful and His plans for us are good. In every moment of uncertainty, let us remember that we have a choice. We can either allow worry to consume us, or we can trust in the one who holds our future. Let us rise above our fears and step boldly into the life that God has called us to live, a life marked by faith, hope, and unwavering trust. Understanding worry. Worry is a natural human response to uncertainty, a deeply ingrained instinct that has been part of our survival mechanism for centuries. When faced with potential threats or challenges, our minds instinctively begin to analyze and anticipate outcomes, often leading us to dwell on what could go wrong. This mental process, while intended to protect us, can quickly spiral into a cycle of anxiety and fear. As we engage in this worrying mindset, we often find ourselves paralyzed rather than propelled forward. Instead of taking proactive steps to address our concerns, we become trapped in a loop of negative thinking. Our energy, which could be directed toward constructive action, is instead consumed by the weight of our worries. We replay scenarios in our minds, imagining worst-case outcomes, and in doing so, we rob ourselves of the clarity and focus needed to navigate our challenges effectively. Worry distracts us from our purpose. Each moment spent in anxiety is a moment taken away from pursuing our goals, nurturing our relationships, and engaging in meaningful activities. We may find ourselves unable to concentrate on our work, hesitant to make decisions, or even withdrawing from social interactions due to the overwhelming nature of our worries. This distraction can lead to missed opportunities and a sense of stagnation in our lives. Moreover, worry can have a profound impact on our physical and emotional well-being. Chronic worry can lead to stress, health issues such as insomnia, headaches, and digestive problems. It can also contribute to feelings of hopelessness and despair, creating a vicious cycle that further entrenches us in our anxious thoughts. The more we worry, the more we feel the weight of our concerns, and the harder it becomes to break free from that cycle. Finally, in essence, while worry is a natural response to the uncertainties of life, it often serves as a barrier to our progress. It clouds our judgment, drains our energy, and distracts us from the path we are meant to follow. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward liberation. By understanding the nature of worry, we can begin to challenge its hold on us and seek healthier, more constructive ways to address our fears and uncertainties. Instead of allowing worry to dictate our actions, we can choose to confront our challenges with faith and trust, redirecting our energy toward positive outcomes and purposeful living. Understanding worry. Worry is a natural human response to uncertainty, a deeply ingrained instinct that has been part of our survival mechanism for centuries. When faced with potential threats or challenges, our minds instinctively begin to analyze and anticipate outcomes, often leading us to dwell on what could go wrong. This mental process, while intended to protect us, can quickly spiral into a cycle of anxiety and fear. As we engage in this worrying mindset, we often find ourselves paralyzed rather than propelled forward. Instead of taking proactive steps to address our concerns, we become trapped in a loop of negative thinking. Our energy, which could be directed toward constructive action, is instead consumed by the weight of our worries. We replay scenarios in our minds, imagining worst-case outcomes. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of the clarity and focus needed to navigate our challenges effectively. Worry distracts us from our purpose. Each moment spent in anxiety is a moment taken away from pursuing our goals, nurturing our relationships, and engaging in meaningful activities. We may find ourselves unable to concentrate on our work, hesitant to make decisions, or even withdrawing from social interactions due to the overwhelming nature of our worries. This distraction can lead to missed opportunities and a sense of stagnation in our lives. Moreover, worry can have a profound impact on our physical and emotional well-being. Chronic worry can lead to stress health issues, such as insomnia, headaches, and digestive problems. It can also contribute to feelings of hopelessness and despair, creating a vicious cycle that further entrenches us in our anxious thoughts. The more we worry, the more we feel the weight of our concerns, and the harder it becomes to break free from that cycle. In essence, while worry is a natural response to the uncertainties of life, it often serves as a barrier to our progress. It clouds our judgment, drains our energy, and distracts us from the path we are meant to follow. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward liberation. By understanding the nature of worry, we can begin to challenge its hold on us and seek healthier, more constructive ways to address our fears and uncertainties. Instead of allowing worry to dictate our actions, we can choose to confront our challenges with faith and trust, redirecting our energy toward positive outcomes and purposeful living. Additionally, it is important to explore the underlying causes of our worries. Often, they stem from a fear of the unknown or a lack of control over our circumstances. By identifying these root causes, we can begin to address them more effectively. This might involve seeking support from others, whether through friends, family, or professional help to gain perspective and guidance. Engaging in practices such as mindfulness and meditation can also help us cultivate a sense of calm and presence, allowing us to observe our worries without becoming consumed by them. Furthermore, reframing our thoughts can be a powerful tool in combating worry. Instead of fixating on potential negative outcomes, we can train ourselves to focus on possibilities and solutions. This shift in mindset encourages a more proactive approach to challenges, empowering us to take action rather than remain paralyzed by fear. By setting realistic goals and breaking tasks into manageable steps, we can regain a sense of control and direction in our lives. Ultimately, understanding worry is about recognizing its impact on our lives and taking intentional steps to mitigate its effects. By fostering a mindset of resilience and trust, we can transform our relationship with worry, allowing us to move forward with confidence and purpose. The nature of trust. Trusting in God is not a passive act. It is an active choice that we make every day. It requires a conscious decision to place our faith in something greater than ourselves, to believe that there is a divine plan at work, even when we cannot see it. This act of trust is a profound commitment that goes beyond mere belief. It involves a deep-seated conviction that God is sovereign and that His wisdom surpasses our understanding. its core, trust in God necessitates surrender. Surrendering our fears and anxieties means letting go of the need to control every aspect of our lives. It is an acknowledgement that despite our best efforts, we cannot predict or manage every outcome. This surrender can be challenging, as it often requires us to confront our insecurities and the discomfort that comes with uncertainty. However, it is in this very act of surrender that we find freedom. When we relinquish our grip on our worries, we open ourselves to the peace that comes from knowing that God is in control. Believing that a higher power is in control of our lives shifts our perspective on the challenges we face. Instead of viewing obstacles as insurmountable barriers, we begin to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Trusting in God allows us to approach difficulties with a sense of hope and resilience, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. This belief fosters a sense of security as we recognize that God is not only aware of our circumstances, but is actively working in our favor. Moreover, trust in God is deeply intertwined with our understanding of His character. When we know and believe that God is loving, faithful, and just, we can more readily place our trust in Him. This understanding is often cultivated through our experiences, both personal and communal. As we witness God's faithfulness in our lives and the lives of others, our trust deepens. We begin to see evidence of His goodness even in the midst of trials, which reinforces our belief that He is worthy of our trust. Trusting in God also involves a willingness to step out in faith. It requires us to take risks, to move forward even when the path is unclear. This can manifest in various ways, whether it's pursuing a new opportunity, making a difficult decision, or reaching out to someone in need. Each step taken in faith is a testament to our trust in God's guidance and provision. It is a declaration that we believe He will lead us where we need to go, even if we cannot see the entire journey ahead. Additionally, trust is not a one-time decision, but a continual process. Life is filled with uncertainties, and as we navigate through various seasons, our trust may be tested. In these moments, it is essential to return to the foundational truths of our faith. Engaging in prayer, studying scripture, and reflecting on past experiences of God's faithfulness can help reinforce our trust. It is through these practices that we cultivate a deeper relationship with God, allowing us to lean on Him more fully during times of doubt. Furthermore, trust in God fosters a sense of community. When we trust in God, we are encouraged to share our burdens with others, knowing that we are all on this journey together. This communal aspect of trust allows us to support one another, to pray for each other, and to celebrate the ways in which God is working in our lives. It creates a network of encouragement and accountability, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. In essence, the nature of trust is multifaceted. It is an active choice that requires surrender, belief in God's sovereignty, and a willingness to step out in faith. It is a journey that deepens over time, shaped by our experiences and our understanding of God's character. Trusting in God transforms our perspective, empowers us to face challenges with hope, and connects us with a community of believers who share in this journey of faith. The power of faith. Faith is often misunderstood as merely a feeling or an emotional response to a situation. However, true faith is much deeper. It is a steadfast conviction that transcends our circumstances. It is a firm belief in the unseen, a trust in the promises of God that remains unshaken even when the storms of life rage around us. This kind of faith is not contingent upon our current situation or the outcomes we desire. Rather, it is rooted in the character of God and his unwavering commitment to us. When we talk about faith as a conviction, we're referring to a deep-seated assurance that God is who he says he is, and that he will do what he has promised. This conviction is built on a foundation of knowledge and experience. It is cultivated through our relationship with God, through prayer, scripture, and the testimonies of others. As we engage with these elements, our faith grows stronger, allowing us to face challenges with a sense of confidence and hope. One of the most powerful aspects of faith is its ability to align us with God's divine plan. When we trust in God, we are essentially saying, I believe that you have a purpose for my life, and I am willing to follow your lead. This alignment is transformative. It shifts our focus from our limited understanding to the infinite wisdom of God. We begin to see our lives through a different lens, recognizing that every experience, both good and bad, can serve a greater purpose in the tapestry of our existence. Faith empowers us to navigate the uncertainties of life with courage. It allows us to take steps forward even when the path is unclear. When we trust in God, we are not paralyzed by fear or doubt. Instead, we are emboldened to act. This might mean pursuing a new opportunity, making a difficult decision, or standing firm in our beliefs despite opposition. Faith gives us the strength to move beyond our comfort zones, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. Moreover, faith has the power to transform our perspective on adversity. When we encounter challenges, it is easy to become overwhelmed and discouraged. However, faith invites us to view these obstacles as opportunities for growth and development. It reminds us that God can use our struggles to refine our character, deepen our reliance on him, and prepare us for the future he has in store. Exethas, 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 exethes, 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 exethes. This perspective shift is crucial. It allows us to embrace difficulties with a sense of purpose rather than despair. The power of faith also extends to our relationships with others. When we live out our faith, we become beacons of hope and encouragement to those around us. Our conviction can inspire others to trust in God, even in their own challenging circumstances. By sharing our stories of faith and the ways in which God has worked in our lives, we create a ripple effect that can impact our communities and beyond. Faith, therefore, is not just a personal journey. It is a collective experience that can uplift and strengthen those around us. Additionally, faith fosters resilience. In a world that is often unpredictable and chaotic, having a strong faith provides a sense of stability and assurance. It anchors us in the truth that God is in control, even when everything else seems to be falling apart. This resilience allows us to bounce back from setbacks, to persevere through trials, and to maintain our hope in the face of adversity. It is a powerful reminder that our circumstances do not define us. Rather, our faith in God does. The power of faith is evident in its ability to bring peace. In times of uncertainty, when worry and anxiety threaten to overwhelm us, faith serves as a calming force. It reassures us that we are not alone and that God is actively working in our lives. This peace, which surpasses all understanding, guards our hearts and minds, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. In summary, faith is a profound conviction that transcends our circumstances. It aligns us with God's divine plan, empowering us to face challenges with courage, resilience, and hope. Through faith, we can transform our perspective on adversity, inspire those around us, and experience a deep sense of peace, knowing that we are held in the hands of a loving and faithful God. Worry versus action. Worry is a powerful force that can immobilize us, trapping us in a cycle of fear and indecision. When we allow worry to take hold, it clouds our judgment and fills our minds with doubt. We become preoccupied with what might go wrong, and this fixation on potential negative outcomes can paralyze us from taking any meaningful action. Instead of moving forward, we find ourselves stuck in a state of inaction, replaying scenarios in our minds and allowing anxiety to dictate our choices. This immobilization can manifest in various aspects of our lives. For instance, when faced with a significant decision, whether it's a career change, a relationship choice, or a personal goal, worry can lead us to second-guess ourselves. We may become so consumed by the fear of failure or the unknown that we hesitate to make any decision at all. This paralysis not only stifles our growth, but can also lead to missed opportunities and a sense of stagnation. And the longer we remain in this state of worry, the more difficult it becomes to break free and take action. In contrast, trust empowers us to take action. When we place our trust in God, we are acknowledging that we do not have to navigate life's challenges alone. This trust provides a solid foundation upon which we can build our decisions and actions. It allows us to step out in faith, knowing that we are supported by a higher power that is guiding us toward our purpose. Trusting God instills a sense of confidence that propels us forward, even in the face of uncertainty. So when we trust God, we are more likely to embrace opportunities and pursue our goals with determination. This trust encourages us to take calculated risks, to venture into the unknown, and to believe that we are capable of achieving our dreams. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, we become motivated by hope and possibility. We recognize that while challenges may arise, we have the strength and support to overcome them. Moreover, taking action in faith often leads to personal growth and development. Each step we take, no matter how small, builds our confidence and reinforces our trust in God. As we step out of our comfort zones and confront our fears, we discover new strengths and abilities within ourselves. This process of growth is essential. It teaches us resilience and adaptability, equipping us to handle future challenges with greater ease. Additionally, action fueled by trust can create a ripple effect in our lives and the lives of those around us. When we take bold steps in faith, we inspire others to do the same. Our actions can serve as a testament to the power of trust in God, encouraging friends, family, and colleagues to confront their own worries and pursue their aspirations. This collective movement toward action fosters a supportive community where individuals uplift one another, creating an environment rich with encouragement and motivation. Furthermore, the act of taking action can often dispel worry. When we engage in proactive steps toward our goals, we shift our focus from what we fear to what we can achieve. This shift in mindset is crucial. It allows us to channel our energy into productive endeavors rather than being consumed by anxiety. As we take action, we often find that our worries diminish, replaced by a sense of purpose and fulfillment. In essence, the contrast between worry and action is stark. Worry immobilizes us, trapping us in a cycle of fear and indecision, while trust empowers us to take bold steps forward. When we trust in God, we are equipped to confront our challenges with confidence, embrace opportunities, and pursue our goals with determination. This dynamic not only transforms our own lives, but also has the potential to inspire and uplift those around us, creating a powerful movement of faith and action. That's promises. The scriptures are a treasure trove of promises from God, each one a testament to his unwavering faithfulness and love for his people. These promises serve as anchors for our souls, providing assurance that we are never alone and that God is actively involved in our lives. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, the Bible is replete with declarations of God's presence, provision, protection, and guidance. When we immerse ourselves in these promises, we cultivate a mindset of trust that can dispel worry and anxiety. One of the most profound aspects of God's promises is the assurance of his presence. Throughout Scripture, we find verses that remind us that God is always with us, even in our darkest moments. For instance, in Isaiah 41:10, God reassures us, saying, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." This promise serves as a powerful reminder that we are never abandoned, no matter the circumstances we face. When we meditate on this truth, we can find comfort and strength, knowing that God walks alongside us through every trial and tribulation. In addition to his presence, God's promises also encompass his provision. Philippians 4:19 states, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." This promise assures us that God is aware of our needs and is committed to providing for us. When we internalize this truth, we can release our worries about the future and trust that God will supply what we require, whether it be physical, emotional, or spiritual sustenance. This understanding fosters a sense of security, allowing us to focus on our purpose rather than being consumed by anxiety over our needs. Moreover, God's promises extend to his protection. Psalm 91 is a beautiful declaration of God's safeguarding presence, assuring us that he is our refuge and fortress. When we meditate on these promises of protection, we can face the uncertainties of life with confidence, knowing that God is watching over us. This assurance allows us to step out in faith, unencumbered by fear, as we trust in his ability to shield us from harm. The act of meditating on God's promises is transformative. It requires us to intentionally focus our thoughts on his word, allowing it to penetrate our hearts and minds. This practice shifts our perspective from our worries to the truth of who God is and what he has promised. As we dwell on these promises, we begin to cultivate a mindset of trust. We learn to replace our anxious thoughts with affirmations of faith, reminding ourselves of God's faithfulness in the past and his commitment to our future. Furthermore, meditation on God's promises can lead to a deeper relationship with him. As we engage with his word, we become more attuned to his voice and his ways. This intimacy fosters a greater understanding of his character, reinforcing our trust in him. We begin to see that his promises are not just words on a page. They are living truths that can guide and sustain us through life's challenges. In addition, reflecting on God's promises can provide a sense of community. When we share these promises with others, we create a culture of encouragement and support. We remind one another of God's faithfulness, helping to lift each other's spirits in times of doubt and worry. This communal aspect of God's promises reinforces the idea that we are not alone in our struggles. We are part of a larger family of believers who can lean on each other and on the promises of God. Ultimately, the promises of God are a source of hope and strength. They remind us that we are loved, cared for, and guided by a faithful Creator. When we meditate on these promises, we cultivate a mindset of trust that empowers us to face life's uncertainties with confidence. Instead of being consumed by worry, we can rest in the assurance that God is with us, providing for our needs and protecting us every step of the way. This transformative practice not only deepens our faith, but also equips us to navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. The impact of perspective. The way we perceive our circumstances can significantly influence our emotional and spiritual well-being. Trusting in God has a profound impact on our perspective. Shifting our focus from our problems to His power, this shift is not merely a change in viewpoint. It is a transformative process that can alter the way we experience life's challenges. Secondly, shift the way we experience life's challenges. When we are consumed by our problems, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and defeated. Our worries can loom large, casting shadows over our ability to see beyond the immediate difficulties. In these moments, we may become fixated on the obstacles in front of us, allowing fear and anxiety to dictate our thoughts and actions. However, when we choose to trust in God, we begin to reframe our perspective. Instead of viewing our challenges as insurmountable barriers, we start to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. This shift in perspective is rooted in the understanding that God is all-powerful and sovereign over every situation we face. When we trust in His power, we recognize that our problems are not beyond His reach. This realization allows us to approach our challenges with a sense of hope and confidence, knowing that God is capable of working all things together for our good. Romans 8:28 reminds us of this truth. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Seeing challenges as opportunities for growth requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and uncertainty. Trusting in God encourages us to step outside our comfort zones and confront the very issues that cause us distress. Instead of shying away from difficulties, we can approach them with curiosity and a desire to learn. This mindset fosters resilience as we begin to understand that every challenge carries the potential for personal and spiritual development. Moreover, this perspective shift allows us to cultivate a sense of gratitude, even in the face of adversity. When we trust in God, we can recognize that our struggles can lead to valuable lessons and experiences that shape us into stronger individuals. James 1:02 benefits from a phrase. James 1:02 benefits from a phrase, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. This perspective transforms our trials into stepping stones toward greater maturity and character. Additionally, trusting in God helps us to see the bigger picture. Life is often filled with complexities and uncertainties, and it can be easy to become bogged down by the details of our immediate circumstances. However, when we trust in God, we are reminded that He has a divine plan that extends beyond our current understanding. It is not BS unless we become bogged down by the details of our immediate circumstances. However, when we trust in God, we are reminded that He has a divine plan that extends beyond our current understanding. This broader perspective allows us to view our lives through the lens of eternity, recognizing that our present struggles are temporary and that God is working out His purposes in ways we may not yet comprehend. Furthermore, this shift in perspective can enhance our relationships with others. When we trust in God and view challenges as opportunities for growth, we become more empathetic and understanding toward those around us. We can offer support and encouragement to others who may be facing similar struggles, fostering a sense of community and connection. Our experiences can serve as testimonies of God's faithfulness, inspiring others to trust in Him as well. Ultimately, the impact of perspective is profound. Trusting in God shifts our focus from our problems to His power, allowing us to see challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. This change in viewpoint empowers us to approach life with hope, resilience, and gratitude. By embracing this perspective, we can navigate the complexities of life with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that God is at work in every situation, shaping us into the individuals He has called us to be. Community and support. Trusting in God is not a solitary journey. It is often enriched and strengthened by the presence of a supportive community of believers. The importance of community in our faith journey cannot be overstated. When we surround ourselves with others who share our beliefs and values, we create an environment where encouragement, accountability, and love can flourish. This communal aspect of faith is vital, especially during times of struggle and uncertainty. One of the most significant benefits of being part of a faith community is the encouragement it provides. Life can be challenging, and there are moments when our faith may waver or our spirits may falter. In these times, having a community of believers around us can be a source of immense strength. Friends and fellow believers can remind us of God's promises, share their own testimonies of faith, and offer words of encouragement that uplift our spirits. This mutual support fosters a sense of belonging and helps us to remember that we are not alone in our struggles. Moreover, community allows us to bear each other's burdens, as instructed in Galatians 6 verse 2. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. When we share our challenges with one another, we lighten the load we carry. This sharing can take many forms, whether it's through prayer, practical assistance, or simply being present for one another. In a supportive community, we find people who are willing to walk alongside us, offering help and understanding during difficult times. This shared experience not only alleviates our burdens, but also deepens our connections with one another. Additionally, being part of a faith community strengthens our faith. When we witness the faith of others, it can inspire and motivate us to deepen our own trust in God. Hearing stories of how God has worked in the lives of fellow believers can reignite our hope and encourage us to persevere in our own challenges. This collective faith experience creates a powerful atmosphere where individuals can grow together, learning from one another and encouraging each other to take bold steps in their spiritual journeys. Community also provides a space for accountability. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, having a group of believers who hold us accountable can be invaluable. When we share our goals, struggles, and prayer requests with one another, we create a network of support that encourages us to stay true to our commitments and to seek God earnestly. This accountability fosters spiritual growth and helps us to remain focused on our faith, even when faced with challenges. Furthermore, the act of serving one another within a community can be transformative. When we trust in God and engage in acts of service, we not only bless others, but also experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from giving. Serving together strengthens our bonds and reinforces the idea that we are all part of the body of Christ, each with unique gifts and contributions. This sense of purpose and belonging enhances our faith and encourages us to continue trusting in God's plan for our lives. In addition, community provides a safe space for vulnerability. In a world that often values self-sufficiency and independence, being part of a faith community allows us to be open about our struggles and doubts. When we share our vulnerabilities with others, we create an atmosphere of authenticity and trust. This openness fosters deeper relationships and allows us to experience the grace and love of God through one another. It reminds us that we are all imperfect and in need of God's mercy, and it encourages us to extend that same grace to others. Ultimately, trusting in God is greatly enhanced by the support and encouragement of a community of believers. Together we can bear each other's burdens, strengthen our faith, and grow in our understanding of God's love and purpose for our lives. This communal aspect of faith not only enriches our individual journeys, but also creates a powerful collective witness to the transformative power of God in our lives. By surrounding ourselves with a supportive community, we can navigate the challenges of life with greater resilience, hope, and joy. The role of prayer. Prayer is one of the most profound and powerful tools available to us as believers, serving as a direct line of communication with God. It is through prayer that we cultivate our relationship with Him, expressing our thoughts, feelings, and concerns while also seeking His guidance and wisdom. This sacred practice is not merely a ritual or a formality. It is an intimate conversation with our Creator, allowing us to connect with Him on a personal level. One of the essential roles of prayer is to provide a space for us to express our worries and anxieties. Life is filled with uncertainties, and it is natural for us to feel overwhelmed at times. When we bring our concerns before God in prayer, we are acknowledging our limitations and our need for His help. This act of surrender is liberating. It allows us to release the burdens we carry and place them in the hands of a loving and capable God. Philippians 4:6-7 encourages us to not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. In doing so, we invite God into our struggles, allowing Him to work in ways that we may not be able to see. Moreover, prayer is a means through which we can receive God's peace. When we lay our worries at His feet, we open ourselves to the peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not dependent on our circumstances. Rather, it is a deep-seated assurance that God is in control and that He cares for us. In moments of prayer, we can experience a profound sense of calm, even in the midst of chaos. This and the prayers that follow it. This peace acts as a guard for our hearts and minds, helping us to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. Additionally, prayer serves as a source of guidance and direction. When we seek God in prayer, we are inviting Him to lead us in our decisions and actions. This is particularly important when we face difficult choices or uncertain paths. Through prayer, we can ask for wisdom and discernment, trusting that God will provide the insight we need. James 1:5 reminds us, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. This promise assures us that God is eager to guide us when we seek Him earnestly. Furthermore, prayer fosters a spirit of gratitude and worship. As we spend time in prayer, we are reminded of God's faithfulness and goodness. This reflection on His past provision and care cultivates a heart of gratitude, shifting our focus from our worries to His blessings. When we express our thanks in prayer, we acknowledge the many ways God has worked in our lives, reinforcing our trust in His continued provision. This attitude of gratitude can transform our perspective, helping us to see our circumstances through the lens of faith rather than fear. Prayer also deepens our relationship with God. Just as any relationship requires communication to thrive, our relationship with God flourishes through regular prayer. In these moments of connection, we not only express our needs, but also listen for His voice. Prayer is a two-way conversation, and as we seek to hear from God, we become more attuned to His presence and guidance in our lives. This intimacy fosters a deeper understanding of His character and His will for us, strengthening our faith and trust in His grace, and ultimately allowing our growth and depth of knowledge to begin. Moreover, prayer can be a communal experience. While personal prayer is vital, praying with others can amplify its power. When we gather in prayer, whether in small groups, church services, or prayer meetings, we create a supportive environment where we can uplift one another. Corporate prayer fosters unity and encourages us to intercede for one another, bringing our collective concerns before God. This shared experience not only strengthens our bonds as a community, but also reinforces our faith as we witness God's answers to our prayers together. Prayer is a source of hope. In times of despair or uncertainty, turning to God in prayer reminds us that we are not alone. It instills in us the hope that God hears our cries and is actively working on our behalf. This hope is a powerful antidote to worry and fear, allowing us to face the future with confidence and assurance. As we pray, we are reminded of God's promises and His faithfulness, which fuels our hope and encourages us to trust in His perfect plan. In summary, prayer is a powerful tool that connects us with God, allowing us to express our worries, receive His peace, seek guidance, and deepen our relationship with Him. It is through prayer that we find comfort, strength, and hope, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with faith and resilience. By making prayer an integral part of our lives, we open ourselves to the transformative power of God's presence and provision. Living in the present. Worry is a pervasive force that often arises from our tendency to dwell on the past or to fear the future. When we focus on what has already happened, we may become trapped in regret, guilt, or disappointment. Similarly, when we fixate on what lies ahead, we can be consumed by anxiety, uncertainty, and fear of the unknown. This preoccupation with past mistakes or future possibilities can rob us of the joy and peace that are available to us in the present moment. Trusting in God offers a powerful antidote to this cycle of worry. When we place our faith in Him, we are encouraged to shift our focus from the burdens of the past and the anxieties of the future to the here and now. This shift is not merely a change in mindset. It is a transformative practice that allows us to fully engage with the present moment, where we can experience God's grace and guidance. Living in the present means embracing the reality of our current circumstances without being weighed down by what has been or what might be. It invites us to appreciate the beauty of the moment we are in, recognizing that each day is a gift filled with opportunities for growth, connection, and joy. When we trust in God, we can find contentment in the present, knowing that He is with us in every situation we face. Moreover, trusting in God helps us to cultivate mindfulness, which is the practice of being fully aware and present in the moment. This mindfulness allows us to engage with our surroundings, our relationships, and our experiences more deeply. It encourages us to savor the small joys of life, a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset, rather than rushing through our days consumed by worries about what has happened or what is to come. By being present, we can fully experience the richness of life as it unfolds. This is the best time to be in the present moment because we have much more. In addition, living in the present opens us up to receive God's grace. Grace is not just a concept. It is a tangible experience of God's love and favor in our lives. When we are preoccupied with the past or the future, we may miss the ways in which God is actively working in our lives right now. Trusting in God allows us to recognize His presence in our current circumstances, reminding us that His grace is sufficient for our needs today. This awareness fosters a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that we are supported and cared for in the present moment. Furthermore, trusting in God enables us to seek His guidance in our daily lives. When we are focused on the present, we become more attuned to the promptings of the Holy Spirit and the opportunities for service and growth that God places before us. Instead of being paralyzed by fear of the future, we can take proactive steps in faith, responding to God's leading in real time. This responsiveness allows us to live purposefully, making choices that align with our values and God's will for our lives. A picture to make a fusty old adage about. The eagle is helping me. Living in the present also enhances our relationships. When we are fully engaged in the moment, we can connect more deeply with those around us. Trusting in God helps us to be more patient, compassionate, and attentive to the needs of others. It allows us to listen actively, to offer support, and to share in the joys and sorrows of those we love. This depth of connection enriches our lives and fosters a sense of community and belonging. Moreover, embracing the present moment can lead to a greater sense of gratitude. When we focus on what we have right now rather than what we lack or what we fear, we cultivate an attitude of thankfulness. This gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us to see the blessings that surround us, even in challenging circumstances. As we acknowledge God's goodness in our lives today, we are reminded of His faithfulness and provision, which further strengthens our trust in Him. Ultimately, living in the present is a powerful practice that can transform our experience of life. Trusting in God allows us to break free from the chains of worry that bind us to the past and the future. It invites us to fully engage with the here and now, where we can experience His grace, guidance, and love. By embracing the present moment, we open ourselves to the richness of life as it unfolds, finding joy, purpose, and peace in our daily journey. Transformative power of trust. The transformative power of trust in God is one of the most profound aspects of the Christian faith. When we consciously choose to place our trust in Him, we open ourselves to a dynamic process of change that can radically alter the course of our lives. This trust is not a passive acceptance of circumstances. Rather, it is an active engagement with God's promises and His character, allowing Him to work in and through us in ways we may never have imagined. Trusting God begins with a willingness to surrender our own understanding and control. In a world that often emphasizes self-reliance and independence, this act of surrender can be counterintuitive. However, it is precisely in this surrender that we find freedom. When we let go of our need to manage every detail of our lives, we create space for God to intervene. This shift in mindset allows us to embrace the idea that God has a plan for us that is far greater than our own. As we trust Him, we begin to see our lives through the lens of His purpose, which can lead to profound transformation. One of the most significant ways that trust transforms us is by reshaping our identity. When we trust in God, we begin to see ourselves as He sees us, beloved, valued, and uniquely created for a purpose. This new identity empowers us to step into our true selves, free from the limitations imposed by fear, doubt, or past failures. We start to recognize our inherent worth and the gifts that God has placed within us. This realization can ignite a passion for living out our purpose, as we understand that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our relationship with God. Moreover, trust in God fosters resilience. Life is filled with challenges, and when we encounter difficulties, it is easy to become discouraged. However, when we trust in God, we develop a sense of inner strength that enables us to persevere. We learn to view setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. This resilience is rooted in the assurance that God is with us, guiding us through every trial. As we navigate life's storms with trust, we emerge stronger and more equipped to face future challenges. The transformative power of trust also extends to our relationships. When we trust God, we are better able to extend grace and forgiveness to others. Our understanding of God's unconditional love and mercy allows us to reflect that same love in our interactions. This transformation can lead to healthier, more meaningful relationships as we learn to communicate openly, support one another, and build each other up in faith. Trusting God helps us to cultivate a spirit of unity and compassion, fostering a sense of community that enriches our lives. Additionally, trust in God can lead to a greater sense of purpose and direction. When we align our lives with His will, we become more attuned to the unique calling He has placed on our hearts. This alignment often involves stepping out of our comfort zones and taking risks in faith. As we trust God to lead us, we may find ourselves pursuing paths we never thought possible. Whether that means starting a new career, engaging in ministry, or serving those in need. This journey of discovery can be exhilarating as we witness God's hand at work in our lives, guiding us toward our true purpose. Furthermore, the transformative power of trust can bring about healing, both emotional and spiritual. Many of us carry wounds from past experiences, and these wounds can hinder our ability to trust ourselves and others. However, when we place our trust in God, we invite Him into our healing process. Through prayer, scripture, and the support of our faith community, we can experience restoration and renewal. God's transformative power can mend broken hearts, heal past traumas, and free us from the chains of guilt and shame. This healing allows us to move forward with confidence, embracing the fullness of life that God intends for us. Trusting God opens the door to a life filled with joy and peace. When we relinquish our worries and anxieties, we create space for God's joy to fill our hearts. This joy is not dependent on external circumstances. Rather, it is a deep-seated contentment that comes from knowing we are secure in God's love. As we trust Him, we can experience a profound sense of peace that surpasses all understanding, allowing us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and assurance. In summary, the transformative power of trust in God is a catalyst for radical change in our lives. When we choose to trust Him, we open ourselves to a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and purpose. This trust reshapes our identity, strengthens our relationships, and leads us to a life filled with joy and peace. By allowing God to work through us, we can experience the fullness of life that He has designed for us, ultimately leading us to our true purpose. Conclusion. As we reflect on the profound truths we've explored today, let us remember that the journey of faith is not just about believing, it's about actively trusting in God and allowing that trust to transform our lives. Worry may seek to immobilize us, but we have the power to choose action through faith. We can shift our focus from our problems to God's promises, embracing the assurance that He is always with us, providing for our needs and guiding our steps. But trusting in God opens the door to a vibrant community of believers who uplift and support us, reminding us that we are never alone in our struggles. Together, we can bear each other's burdens and strengthen our faith, creating a powerful network of encouragement and love. Through prayer, we connect with God, expressing our worries and receiving His peace that surpasses all understanding. This sacred communication allows us to live in the present, where we can experience His grace and guidance, free from the shackles of the past and the anxieties of the future. And as we trust in God, we unlock the transformative power that can radically change our lives. We discover our true identity, embrace our purpose, and cultivate resilience in the face of challenges. We learn to extend grace to others, fostering deeper relationships and a sense of community. So I urge you today, choose trust over worry. Embrace the promises of God and allow His transformative power to work within you. Step boldly into the life He has called you to live, filled with hope, joy, and purpose. Remember, you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your faith in a God who loves you unconditionally and has a plan for your life. Let us move forward together, trusting in God's goodness and faithfulness, and watch as He leads us to a future filled with possibilities. Thank you